All right, let me make sure I'm good. Oh, actually, hold on, give me 1 second. Put this on mute real quick. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I kind of want to get into this conversation about um, this situation going on where all these black male rappers are going towards Drake apparently. And it's fun to watch. I'll be honest, I don't give a fuck about any of these rappers or Drake, but there is something I'm noticing as far as the conversations along him being biracial. And I've even heard a lot of these black men refer to him as go as far as to calling him a white boy, completely negating the fact that he has a black father. So it just is a common conundrum that pops up. And a lot of black men really think that we're not supposed to notice this because again, this is just their colorist nature and the way they dwell and want to, go through life hating oneself, hating one's skin color while thinking that they're ever going to be respected on the level of men that don't do this. And a lot of the reasons why they do this is because they think they're trying because it's in an effort to try to hurt the black women that care for them. Now, me on the other hand, I'm not one of those black women. I am highly selective with men that I care about in general, of all races, and a lot, and just I'm just going to be honest. Many black men are not really included in that. Many men, period, aren't included in that. Like I said, I feel like black women should be very selective about the people that they support, the people that they put their money to, and Dark skinned men are just not that, are not it. And on top of that, I've never had this preference towards dark skinned men that that a lot of people in the black community, a lot of women in the black community seem to have, especially when a lot of them don't even like their own skin color and are quick to erase it as soon as they can. Um, yeah, I just don't find that. I don't find behaviors like that attractive, nor do I find men that look like that attractive. Just to be honest, I mean, shit, if they don't want to procreate themselves, why the fuck would I? So back to the topic of this whole situation with Kendrick going at Drake and pretty much every black man using him as a proxy to say nan and a boo boo at a rapper that has a lot more sales, a lot more reach, a lot more notoriety than they do. And yes, a lot of it, and yes, a lot of the reasons that they are jealous has to do with the fact that he's biracial. Because I guarantee you, if he was a full black man, none of this would be the problem. Now, I'm also hearing that a lot of these dudes are now going out of their way to say that there's such thing or such difference as being racially black and culturally black. Mind you, there are so many rappers in the industry who actually are black, who are fully black, not even say fully black, who actually are black, because I don't live by the slave master's rule of one drop being everybody black. Um, again, black men only seem to apply the one drop rule to women, but they don't apply the one drop rule to themselves. And this is something that a lot of black women should take into notice when you're following some of these platforms and they're quick to call somebody like a Cardi B a black woman, but then will be quick to call somebody like Drake a white boy. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. And the funny thing is that you'll hear a lot of black men refer to Kendrick's wife as a black woman. Now, phenotypically, she looks more Anglo than Drake does. So how is she a black woman, but he's a white boy? And this is why I'm saying. And there's a couple of comments that there are many black women that have actually called this out, which I'm so proud of, because I was specifically watching a video from King of Reeds on his response to this. And I thought him of all people would mention more of this, but it seems like he was more excited about Kendrick supposedly winning. And no, Kendrick has not won. Yeah, it was a nice rap, but in the long run, Drake is ultimately going to be the successor. Now, let me show this really quick. All right, so let me share a screen on just some of the comments that I saw regarding this from a lot of black women, and I'm actually very proud of this. Let's share screen. Okay. So This is the first comment that I noticed. Now, this is a Talia Journey 212. This was under King of Reeds. She said, Kendrick is saying a lot, but the aspect of calling Drake white boy is twofold. Most of these rappers and ballers don't even know what a real black woman looks like. They called Aisha Curry a beautiful black woman when she went blonde and put blue contacts in. And I'll be honest, I don't even follow basketball, but I do know Aisha Curry is what's the name's wife, Stephen Curry's. And yeah, she is very much a yeah. And it says, and the person who commented says they know, but black men change the rules to suit themselves and to meet their colorist nature. Exactly. And I'm so glad that this was pointed out. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm majority of the black women that are siding with Kendrick and caught up in this beef, and I'm just like, you guys, a lot of black women look very stupid not calling this out for what it is and trying to actually participate in it by saying that Kendrick won or Kendrick did this and Kendrick did that. I'll be honest, I didn't even bother listen to the rap because I don't listen to Kendrick nor Drake anymore. I just don't have an interest. Number one, and I'll get to that in the next slide. Number one, I don't know. A lot of people are have very short term memories as far as Kendrick, and do people not realize that he also defended R. Kelly. I don't know if people remember that, but I'll get to that in a second. I'll continue to go to these slides. Mhm. Let's go to this one. Ascending Lotus. And also, where was this energy for Halle Berry when he used her photo and likeness without her consent? But for Pac and Snoop, it's outrage. Both wrong, but here we go again. Nigga, I guess it's a nigga bum. And then the reply that, and wasn't Kendrick defending R. Kelly? I like his music, but he really defended a man who was creeping on a young black girl. Now, I used to like Kendrick's music, but yeah, I stopped. The thing is, a lot of these dudes are just here to sell blackness to black women, and I don't know if y'all realize that. Kendrick is not for real, for real. He couldn't even represent the blackness and black family that he's talking about. When he's talking about blackness and talking about my DNA and all that other shit, he's talking about black men. That has nothing to do with black women, and I really wish that y'all would take heed to that. I really wish that y'all would take heed to that. Y'all notice they never go out of their way to show you in a to show your image in a happy light, but they'll go out of their way to show everybody else's woman in a positive light. So next one, Shy Brown Angel. I hope people keep the same energy for biracial women. They won't because black men look for reasons to show their hypocrisy every single time. Black people would lose their minds if black female artists was attacking biracial female artists. People would be calling black women as a collective jealous, bitter, and everything else. And that's the truth. I, I'll continue reading the rest of it, but I'll stop right there. That is the truth because I can recall when, even though a lot of people bigged up Remy Ma for Sheether, there were a lot of dudes talking about that Remy Ma is just mad because she's dark skinned, masculine sound. That they used to call her all that. They were calling her all of that shit. And the only reason why they stopped temporarily was because of Papoose. That really had nothing to do with her. A lot of them were respecting her based on Papoose. And then when the situation happened between her and Papoose, they just released everything that they were feeling already about her. So I just need y'all to realize that they only have it for when it's them. They only have it for when it's them. Because when it's you, they tend to rub it in your face. They tend to use it as a way to rub it in your face, not exactly support you and say, hey, you deserve better. They'll never say that. And that's something that you need to catch, because these men don't actually, because these niggas don't care for you. They don't. They just want to use and y'all. I don't understand why y'all are not looking out for this. Not y'all, the ones that I'm highlighting in the comment section, the ones that I'm highlighting here, but the ones that I'm not highlighting that were in King of Reed's comment section, same way. And then also, my thing is, the people that are trying to call Drake soft and all this shit, the only reason why they're trying to call him that is because he's biracial. I don't understand how people equate light skin and whiter skin with softness when last time I checked, lighter skin and whiter skin has been the dominant throughout history. It's actually blackness that's been in the most feminine position because you have the least amount of wealth, you have the least amount of power. The darker you are in this society, the least amount of power you have. So this whole equating dark skin to masculinity or hardness is a fallacy. And it's something that a lot of niggas needed to make up in order to justify their lack of manhood that they sold out centuries ago. And black women getting caught up in this, trying to make these dudes feel better. All you're doing is telling yourself that you're masculine. Because think about it. If you're associating light skin with softness and emotion, then what are you saying about dark skinned black women? See, this is why I don't think like slaves. A lot of black folks think like slaves. They think like happy slaves on the plantation, but then have the fucking nerve to talk about, anyway. But then we'll have the fucking nerve to talk about how they're somehow so much more advanced than those who spoke the same exact way on the plantation. It's even worse now because you're not on the plantation, but yet you're still speaking like this. So yeah. But back to the sister here, Shy Brown Angel. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad Drake is being dissed for coming for Megan the Stallion, so I am not defending him, but it doesn't sit right with me that everyone wants to attack light-skinned biracial men while protecting light-skinned biracial women. It's weird. Either all of them are black or all of them are not. Hating the very same men you create with other races is beyond crazy to me. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shy Brown Angel. And it says, edit. People are bringing up J. Cole being biracial and not getting backlash in the comment section. But J. Cole wasn't respected by black men for a very long time. Thank you. All right. Sorry about that. Mm, Went out for a split second. Let me mic check 1 2 1 2 again. Mm, Went out for a split second. Okay, perfect. So back to what I was doing. Here we go. Shy Brown Angel. Yeah, that's who I was on last. All right. So yeah, but yeah, I have to read this. I have to read this part again. I have to read this part again. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad Drake is not being dissed for coming for Megan Thee Stallion, so I am not defending him. But it doesn't sit right with me that everyone wants to attack light skinned biracial men while protecting light skinned biracial women. It's weird. Either all of them are black or all of them are not. Hating the very same men you create with other races is beyond crazy to me. Edit. People are bringing up J. Cole being biracial and not getting backlash in the comments, but J. Cole wasn't respected by black men for a very long time. I can't be the only one who remembers when everyone used to call him corny. Exactly. Everybody called him. I can recall when J. Cole and Kendrick were going at each other and him being biracial was brought up. See, a lot of them don't. A lot of these niggas have very, very short term memory. They only decided to not get because J. Cole is not as popular. J. Cole has not surpassed Kendrick in sales notoriety and just overall success and money. But I guarantee you, if J. Cole was, and when a lot of people thought he was, they had no problem. That's when they started attacking him. I remember that shit. I'm so glad you said that. I can't be the only one who remembers when everyone used to call him corny. He's just now getting his respect mostly because he stays in his own lane and doesn't have the same success as Drake. He drops music every once in a while. Thank you. Thank you so much. Shy Brown Angel. You basically said everything that I was thinking as well. So glad to know there's other smart people. Now for the next one. I love this commentary and wish you apply some of these critiques to, dare I say, Cardi. And let's be clear, I've seen pics of both sides of her family. She's not Afro Latino. She's an indigenous and white Latina with a half black grandma. There, I said it. Yeah, it's the truth. A half black grandma. That's about it. But the rest of them, white. So yeah, and that's the thing. I noticed that a lot of people. I noticed that King of Reeds is continuing to do that, and I don't know if y'all noticed. You continuing to follow dude while he continues to say that is basically you supporting disrespect of your own image. So if you can continue to call it out in his comment sections all you want to, but leaving a comment and basically bringing more to his page is not about to do anything. You have to not engage. You have to unfollow. You have to block and mute until they decide that they're going to get it correct. Then you need to not follow these people. Leave comments. I mean, leaving commentary. Yeah, that's cute, but at the same time, leave commentary and call out the bullshit. Like these, and unfortunately, a lot of these people that are calling this shit out in the comment sections aren't gonna get nearly as many likes. Um, aren't gonna get nearly as many likes as people that are indulging in the beef and saying that Kendrick cleared him and are going along with this bullshit of Drake being out. It's like y'all don't realize how, in the black women involved in this, don't realize how fucking stupid they look siding with Kendrick. Because you think for a second that if you attack somebody that looked like his wife, he would side with you. Mm, Something to think about. Here's another one. Shout out to Black Bunny Org. I just think I just think it's crazy how when it comes to Drake, it's okay to discredit his blackness and claim he's stealing access to our culture, but y'all don't do the same for ambiguous looking non-black women. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you said it, Black Bunny org. Another one that also called this shit out. And you could tell with the bold, like you could tell with the bold thumbs up that I liked every one of these. Because again, these made the most sense. And I am gonna highlight these comments on my community page as well. Um, but yeah, it's true. These men are hypocritical. That's why this is why black men will forever remain at the fucking bottom. I'm just going I just have to say it. Black men will forever remain at the fucking bottom of all manhood, at the fucking bottom of all wealth, at the and honestly, these are the greatest dumbasses in all of history. And all of it has to do with the fact that they are jealous of their own. These are the only group of men that are jealous of their own women, hateful of their own women. Why? Because the Sibyls were better than you? Because the Sibyls were celebrating themselves and you niggas left out, so you decided to take over the temples? Oh, that Mama Zogbe, I'm gonna get into also, but that's a whole nother live, honey. All right. And last one. Okay, so we got anime boys only. I refuse to defend these dark skinned rappers for bullying Drake for being biracial because if it was reversed and this was two female rappers beefing, they would side with the biracial female and say the dark skinned one is jealous, like what they did with Lil Kim versus Nicki. Facts. I am not a fan of rap either. Oh, I think it says Charmin de Cruz, I think, or Charmin de Cruz. Not sure. Um, Facts. I am not a fan of rap music, but Stevie Wonder can see that these other rappers are jealous of his success and his looks. They can pretend otherwise, but action speaks. And yes, let's be serious. Most of these dark skinned rappers look dirty as fuck. They think walking around unkept makes them pure black. No, y'all niggas just look dirty. So yeah, but I just had to comment on this because again, I find it amazing that people are not seeing this for what it is. This is pure jealousy, plain and simple. Drake is forever going to be over Kendrick in sales, streaming, success, and just overall marketability. And yes, maybe his skin color has to do with it, but my thing is, why would black men be mad at that very same thing? Isn't Drake not a black man's child? Is he not a product of the relationships that these dudes push on a regular basis? So how is he not part of black culture? How is he not culturally black? Because his black father abandoned him and his white mom and what? That ain't nobody's problem. That ain't nobody's problem. Like again, I don't see what the problem is. This is very clear that it's about him being biracial because I guarantee you, like I said, to the black women that are listening, do you think for a second that if you were a dark skinned rapper, black woman that was coming at a woman that looked like Kendrick's wife, you think he would defend said woman, or you think he would defend the one that looks like his wife? Yeah, I need y'all to really sit on that. And like I said earlier, I find it funny that people also want to use dark skin as a measure of masculinity for men, knowing damn well that dark skin has been at the bottom of all power for how long? For how many centuries? So, if anything, wouldn't whiteness be equated with masculinity and dark skin be equated with femininity? Again, that trope is only used by men who have no power, who have no wealth, who sold it away, actually, for Portuguese glass beads and some tobacco. and a couple of guns here and there, so they could use against themselves. By the way, notice how these niggas ain't have no guns for those very same people, but they had guns for each other. Just again, kind of getting off track, but I'm kind of making correlations here. This is a pattern that pops up repeatedly, and it pops up in all forms. These dudes have jealousy towards men that are lighter than them, while at the same time having hatred towards women that have their same features. Y'all don't see this correlation? Are you blatantly ignoring it? Because Kendrick ain't your friend either. This whole bigging up of Kendrick, he ain't your friend either. He was very quick to defend R. Kelly. Want to know why? Because the majority of the women that he assaulted more than likely looked like you and not like his wife, except with the exception of Aaliyah, by the way. And we all know why Aaliyah was singled out. Out of all those victims, we all know why Aaliyah is singled out the most. She is the least black looking out of all of R. Kelly's victims. See, when it was Aaliyah, it was poor Aaliyah, it was all this. But when it was that 13-year-old girl around the same time, they called her fast. Y'all forgot that? Oh, let me see. Missing. They've been at the bottom. Exactly. And we know this because they continue to complain about it, don't they? Even at this very moment online when they're bitching and moaning about Drake. It has everything to do with his success. Has everything. It was the same thing they did with Eminem. Matter of fact, I have a community post that I'm going to show that I just made. Hold on, let me stop sharing real quick. Yep. And I truly believe that a lot of the reasons they want to remain at the bottom is because they think in some way they're hurting black women. That's why when we are feeling good, that's why when we are successful, that's why when Goldman Sachs decides to invest $10 billion in us over 10 years, that's when people get upset. This is a core. I'm making too many links and too many patterns, and it's all adding up. Hold on, let me find this post. Here we go. All right. So I think I should be able to see this. Let me double check. Perfect. Let me hide this comment real quick. So as y'all can see in my community tab, I actually responded because for some reason my comment wasn't showing up in Justin's chat. So I decided to just add him here in case he sees it and wants to respond. It's up to him. Let me just zoom in just a bit. Oh, that's much better. The layout. All right. Oh, that's much better. Okay. So, at King of Reads, in regards to this black males versus their biracial sons beef, i.e., Kendrick versus Drake, maybe I'm the only one who doesn't care about either of them two. But isn't it amazing how hypocritical these niggas are when it comes to their biracial sons having success over them? Drake is all of a sudden a white boy, but when he was dissing Megan and black women in general, he was a part of the team, lol. These black men will hate for a biracial or non-black man to show them up in their own shit, but will actively push the erasure of black women's creations and aesthetic and place it on non-black or mixed chicks. Black men did the same thing. Black men did the same shit with Eminem back in the day. When they found out that the diss he made toward when they found out that this he made towards black girls because one rightfully dumped him in high school, they were just fine with putting him on. Mind you, this was like the early night. This was like early to late '90s, y'all. With a white boy, they had no problems. But as soon as Eminem started being declared the rap god, as soon as he started getting more money, more sales. Oh, and by the way, he ain't never had to use the word nigga in any of his raps to get any of it. By the way, and they were just fine with him in the beginning. But then when he started showing them up, whenever they become more successful than the dark skinned black male rappers, it is always jealousy. And it says, and I said on the next sentence, when he surpassed them in sales, global stardom, and essentially declared the rap god, then niggas were up in arms. It's jealousy and envy, plain and simple. Otherwise, they would keep the same energy for mixed girls who do the same to black women. Just something to think about. But the cattiness is hilarious to watch, though. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. Yes, I had to give a shout out to Megan Thee Stallion because she was really the first one to get in Drake's ass. But on that his song when she came for him, calling him BBL Drizzy. That Rick Ross is now all of a sudden starting to call Drake on his lives now. Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion for that. Talking about that he cosplay accents. I'm now hearing dudes talking about on their lives that, oh, he's been faking an accent. I swear these dudes piggyback off black women so much, it's disgusting. They piggyback off the, and that's really where the hatred, you hate it. That's where really where these niggas hatreds come from. It's from they hate it, they're hateful of the source. You know, it is what it is. They just got to deal with it. And the rest of the world. You know, whenever we're at the bottom of doing bad, that's when they want to start spreading it on their platforms and making videos about it. But then when we're at the top, for some reason they can never be found. Or when we're calling out shit like this, rightfully so, they can never seem to pop up. Because I mostly spend my time in spaces where black women are happy and calling out the hypocrisy of other people. But I don't really see those same hypocritical ass people in those sections. So it says to me that the propaganda is very, very strong. And a lot of y'all are really mad. And I'm going to do whatever I have to make sure you stay mad and die mad. Especially if that means black women being on top. Because last time I checked, the planet was at its most pure and less polluted when we were on top. We ain't have as many nuclear bombs. We ain't have as much evil motherfuckers running around. We had less pedophiles, rapists. When the civils were in charge, none of that shit was going down. The moment black men decided to get jealous and take over the temples and try to make everything in their image, everything went downhill from there. Then you get the sub-Saharan slave trade, which, by the way, black men kicked off first. People need to realize that black men actually sold their women and children first, which led to their asses ultimately getting sold later on down the line. So they just mad that they got caught up in there. They just mad that they received the manifestation of their own hatred. That's why a lot of them have such a vitriol towards white men specifically, because white men are the literal antithesis of everything black men are in regards to upholding their family values, in regards to putting their women on top, in regards to putting themselves on top. White men are not going to shit on themselves for anybody. And the ones that do, they're pandering. They're pretty much letting you know, hey nigga, we know how at the bottom you are, so let me diss myself a little bit to make you feel better. But don't get too close, but don't go too far, Negro. Because you know if you get out of line, I'm going to use everything that you tried, that I'm going to use all the ass kissing that you've been doing for the past few centuries and throw it right back in your face. And see, a lot of black women don't realize that black men have spent these entire past few generations giving nothing but ammunition to the very people that they hate. That's why they have to come at you. That is the real reason why they have to come at black women, because black men have given all their ammunition away. So when they hear a black woman call them out for their self-hate, call them out for their bullshit, They're gonna turn to the very thing that they did it that they're gonna turn towards you because the hatred of you was the very reason why they did it. That's why. It's their hatred of you is the very reason why these dudes sell themselves out. That's why I'm saying Cynthia G was right. Y'all should not be procreating with these type of dudes. I really shouldn't. I'm sorry. Y'all will allow them to have one song, pay lip service to blackness. Like, really, what has Kendrick? Does Kendrick's life really speak to pro blackness? Or are you just listening to? Or are you just being hypnotized by the songs and wishing that something shit like that could happen? It's the same thing when black people. Hold on. Matter of fact, the Black Panther situation, and I'm not talking about Black Panther of the '70s. I'm talking about the Marvel movie. Now, let's go on IMDb. Let's see IMDb real quick. Matter of fact, not even IMDb. I want to see how much Black Panther grossed. Black Panther. See how much it grossed in the box office. Okay. All right. Let me stop sharing this real quick. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So the film Black Panther. Just went to Wikipedia because I just want to see the box office numbers and the budgeting that was used towards it. Right. So now we all know Marvel Studios. Now this was produced by Marvel Studios and distributed through Walt Disney Motion Pictures. Right. So basically, Marvel Studios, Marvel Comics, they own the rights to the Black Panther character, right? And all the characters that came with it, right? So, let's take a look at this box office, right? So it seems to me, all right, so the budget on this was 200 million. Box office, 1.3, you might as well call that 1.35. 1.35 billion. All right. Now, I gotta ask you a question. Do you think black folks could have came together and invested $200 million in this movie under their own companies, as opposed to giving $1.3 billion to Marvel for them to fund other projects? So you mean to tell me that people can come together to you mean to tell me that black folks are coming together to pay Marvel for a fantasy, but not bring millions of dollars together to actually create some shit in real life for their own? This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. These companies will continue to make money off of your stupid asses because they know that you're not serious. They know that none of you pro blacks are serious, especially pro black men. They know that y'all are the least serious. If anything, pro black male has become a joke. There is really the concept of being a pro black man is a straight up fucking joke at this point. And these men have turned it into a joke. And now I see why a lot of niggas like these despise the men like Malcolm X, because with Malcolm X is around, these dudes couldn't act the way they do. And that's why they hate for any black man to call them out on their bullshit. Because they want to keep this going. They do. They are very comfortable in this system, ladies. They are comfortable with going missing. They are comfortable with getting kidnapped. They are comfortable with getting stabbed up by white women. I need y'all to realize that these dudes really don't want to be here. They have a suicidal ideation, and y'all need to let them have it. Stop trying to save them. In fact, they hate you more when you do. They don't want they hate you more that you try to procreate the very skin color that they're trying to erase. Sorry, be mad at Cynthia G all you want to, but these dudes are proving it every day. So, yeah. But I had to use that as an example because, again, y'all will pay for the fantasy, y'all will pay for the music, y'all will pay for the movies, but you won't actually put the money into something real, which tells me everything I need to know. And which tells these people that these companies that are actually making money off of your dumbasses, they've been new because they're the ones making money off of it. So of course they're gonna keep it going because y'all are paying for it. They know for a fact that you don't want to step to them. They know white men know for a fact that black men want no fucking smoke for real. And black men know this deep down too. They know that they don't want no smoke with white men. That's why they all online feeling froggy and brave. They feeling froggy and brave now, but where was that frogginess and braveness prior to segregation? I mean, excuse me, prior to integration. That would have really told me the type of man you was. Not waiting until you begged, marched, and pleaded to be accepted. And this is a conversation that the black community will never have because it's too real. It's too real. We're gonna keep it 100. It's just way too real. But until y'all have that conversation in this raw form, you will forever be stuck. You will forever be stuck. And see, a lot of black men are okay with that as long as black women are stuck with them. See, when they don't think black women are going to be stuck with them, that's when they're not okay. That's when there's such heavy backlash. Because again, it's all about trying to keep us at the bottom with them. But then when they make it out, and then also when they make it out, they use it to keep us on the bottom as well. They're trying to keep this cycle going. They want to keep this system going. They don't want it to stop because then that means they have to step up. That means that this country is going to attack them in ways that they were attacked in the past, and they don't want to have to face that because again, these men are naturally bitch made. Like, don't play tough now. Don't play tough after integration. Let me know where that toughness was when your women and children were being lynched, when you were being lynched, when you were being castrated. See, that would have been the time to show manhood. That would have been prime time to show, hey, we ain't going for none of this. But you didn't. Y'all allowed your towns to get burned down. What was it, Tulsa, Oklahoma? From what I heard, it was 2,000 white men that ran into that town, and what? Not one black man bust back. They all ran behind the women and children. Ain't that shit crazy? I'm sorry. And these will be the same dudes that have the fucking nerve to turn to black women and call them masculine. What does that make you? Then what does that make you as men? That makes you little girls at best in this system. That's why you got to hide behind black women whenever a situation with the system goes down. And have y'all noticed there's been an uptick with black women's images being used in thumbnails? But we're supposed to think of you as some protectors or you as men. No, what the fuck? You're sniveling ass boys, always have been. That's why you'll pay Marvel and everybody else to fabricate some shit, fabricate some blackmail authority, but you won't actually do it in real life. So yeah, go ahead, continue to make these people rich, fabricating fabricating an image for you. Please do. And also allow, and yeah, if you want, and that's the thing, y'all are gonna allow and continue for your women to be attacked too. By all means. If the black women that want to continue to give birth to this shit, you're gonna be in a hell of an awakening. You're gonna be for in a hell of you're going to be mm. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say it because we see it exhibited in real life. I don't even have to say it. Because these dudes are gonna bring it to y'all anyway. They can only bring it to the ones that care about them the most, because the ones that don't will fucking get them killed. And this is why I say a lot of these dudes don't really deserve anybody caring about them. They damn sure don't deserve black women caring about them. at all. And this whole situation with Cole and Drake, back just to the title, the whole situation with Cole and Drake, a white boy, is a bit wild to me because, like I said, they'll have that for biracial they'll have that for biracial men, but they don't have the same smoke for biracial girls. In fact, they'll actually diss black women for biracial girls. So why shouldn't black women do the same to y'all? Why shouldn't we call out the same bullshit with y'all? It's very clear that y'all are jealous of Drake. Oh, and by the way, I have to say this whole fascination with black women preferring dark skinned men, that hasn't always been the case actually. I don't know if y'all remember the days of Albie Shore, when Albie Shore was popping. If you listen to Albie Shore's Unsung, he mentions that the reason why um he decided to put him on, Albie Shore on, was because he was light skinned and desirable. That's what he said. And the ladies went crazy over him. But because there was a large attack towards black women saying that, oh, if how can you think that if you it, then if basically there was gaslighting. It was a lot of gaslighting towards black women because of that. The darker skinned black women. Like basically, oh, if you don't like if you only like the mixed or lighter versions of black men, then you don't really like black men. That's what was told to us. They were told that was told to us when we didn't only just like dark skinned black men. And that's because a lot of these dudes felt like they were getting erased by the Albie Shores of the world. So there's always been this tug and pull on the men's side where they want black women to understand them. But then when it comes to you, black women who are darker in tone, you're the ones that are considered jealous. You're the ones that are considered undesirable. No, these men are letting you know exactly what it is. They hate their skin. They only think of themselves as desirable when they're accepted by other races of people. When they're not, we see how they act. We see how they act when they're not. When they're not the chosen person of desire, when it's somebody that's lighter than them or or a white man, we see the reaction and y'all see the reaction. And truth be told, a lot of black women were going along with this putting dark skin as masculine. That was all to make dark skinned niggas feel better. That wasn't real. And a lot of them do it today to try to make y'all feel better or to try to make it seem like they're not anti-black. But it's a lie. A lot of them don't really feel that way about y'all. It's just the truth. But they know that you're gonna go on a whiny fest and you're gonna start dissing them. Now that shit don't work on me. Cause I'll tell a nigga to his face, you're ugly as fuck. I don't give a fuck about you having a complex about your skin, because you wouldn't give a fuck about any other woman's complex or whatever's going on with her. It's funny how these dudes will want us to take into consideration their self hate, but then won't take into consideration of black women who suffer from internalized misogyny or black women who suffer from the effects of the same racism that these niggas went through. They always like to claim that bullshit of whenever we single out our issues, they always like to claim that bullshit of, oh, well, we're just black. We all have the same issues. No, we don't. We don't. Black men and black women do not have the same issues. If they did, then you would see black men stand up a whole lot more for black women than they would be participating in said abuse. And the black men are participating in it. And how don't you know that keeping your wombs at the bottom essentially keeps your birthright at the bottom? Are black men are black men the only ones that like don't understand this? The reason why other races of men put the wombs that they come out of on top is to automatically put themselves on top. If they put their wombs at the bottom, they're placing themselves at the bottom because they come out of said womb. So these dark skinned black men come out of black women. All of these dark skinned black men have come out of dark skinned black women. But yet those are the wombs that they degrade the most. So then what are you saying about product of said womb? Mm. See, and niggas that don't study psychology or want to blatantly ignore it, um, they're the ones that try to get this off. But see, if you study psychology, you'll notice that that's the case. The reason, again, men with power know this, and no, their women did not teach them how to be in power. It was their fathers that taught them how to be in power. Men teach other men how to be men. Only in the black community are black women expected to teach niggas how to be men. Again, these dudes don't want any responsibility. They don't want to be men. I don't even think they want to be even breathing, personally. And I think a lot of y'all needs to just let that happen. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. Kendrick has a lot of nerve calling somebody a white boy when his wife is more Anglo looking than than Drake does. Matter of fact, I'll go back to the picture in the thumbnail. Give me a second. Let me share. So y'all see this picture, right? How is one? How is the one with the more obvious Negro nose, Negro lips, darker skin? Because Drake is a lot browner, and with that thick ass beard, I mean, he has a lot more blackness than Kendrick's own wife. So how the fuck are you calling him a white boy? But then looking at your wife and calling her a black woman. Mind you, again, Kendrick's the same nigga that defended R. Kelly too. So again, it's just weird. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I want y'all to take a look at this picture. Really take a look at this picture. Can anybody tell me what's going on here? Because I'm sorry, I don't have nigga vision. I don't have coon vision. I don't have self-hating nigga vision. So I'm not seeing it. But anybody that has coon nigga translation or coon nigga interpreters, self-hating nigga interpreters, can y'all help me out? Can somebody help me out with this? Oh no, nobody's gonna help me out with it. All right, well, I'll help myself. Point blank. Period. This is it's just nothing but pure jealousy. It is towards the very same sons that they create, by the way, because this is not a because Drake is not a product of a black woman and a white man. He's the product of a black man and a white woman. But yet they're so highly upset at their son for succeeding them. Oh, I wonder if maybe that's it. I wonder if that's it. I don't. That could be it. It could be a lot of black men that really don't want to see their son surpass them. Hmm. Kind of makes you wonder why they abandon the sons that look most like them. 50 Cent. That's another one that comes to mind. Hates the very son that looks the most like him, but is loving on the son that looks the least like him. Mm. Yeah, y'all got to start putting these patterns together. Shit, I might have to do a whole video to this. I'm gonna do a whole video. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll do a whole slideshow video, the hypocrisy of the black male coon. Well, I probably will have to. I probably won't be able to put that last word in, but I'll finagle that a little bit. But yeah, some don't make sense to me. So yeah, I don't have the same vision as I don't have the same vision as as colorist black men. I just don't. And thank God I don't, because then that means I'd be the type to, hate my image all day while at the same time complaining about said image being erased or being replaced. Mm. You know, I can even recall at the NFL draft, it was a whole bunch of dudes being mad and upset that that majority of the people that were being recruited were biracial. I'm like, yeah, but these are your creations, though. Like, how the fuck are you mad at something that you're actively participating in? And then not only do you actively participate it against yourself, you do it. Well, you do it to yourself. You try to do it to Black women at the expense of yourself. Ladies, that's ultimately the mentality that Black men have. They will do everything they can to destroy Black women, even at the expense of their own image and self. And you need to allow their own image, you need to allow their own image to fall when they do that. If they're attacking you and they happen to catch the strays of their own self hate, because that's essentially what self destruction is. They're just a living manifestation of self-destruction and self-hate. They don't want the Black community to continue because number one, the Black community in the state as that it's in is a constant reminder of their self-hate, and it's a constant reminder of their bottom status. And they only seek out Black women to trauma bond with so they can keep this shit going. That's why I don't allow niggas to trauma bond about around me. You're not gonna come around me complaining about Black male issues all day and not calling out the shit that y'all actively do to push it forward. That's never gonna happen. Not in my world. And more Black women need to have that same attitude of don't start coming around me complaining about Black male issues when majority of y'all push this shit and support it. Especially when you think you're trying to harm a Black woman. So I say catch the strays. I say, matter of fact, and as much as I don't give a fuck about Drake, I honestly hope he keeps making y'all mad. I honestly hope he keeps making money off y'all. I honestly hope he keeps culture vulturing you niggas because y'all have no problems doing the same things towards women that look like you. So if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So enjoy your fall. I'm gonna end it on that. Y'all have a good one. Shout out to those who made it to the live, even the hate watchers, those that didn't respond, and those that are just watching. That those who do support me that may not have been able to speak. Thank you, Missy, for your commentary today, and that's the end of that. Y'all have a good one.